What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games or later on your favorite podcast service, B. Dave Walters and Erin M. talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. If you're with us live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. Yeah, I know the code's not there. I'm going to add in a little bit. Audio listeners, don't worry about that. But until then, Erin, B. Dave, take it away.
I am Erin M. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms that features Frida, Havilar, and Mahen, some of your favorite Idle Champions. I also play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers.
Champions.
I'm B. Dave Walters. I say words about things. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located, including the Black Dice Society tomorrow at 4 on D&D Twitch and YouTube, and this Friday and Saturday all over D&D Live. And we have a big announcement at the end of the show that I'm doing and excited about.
Yes. So hope you're excited for that. But until then, we're talking about Laeral Silverhand and Elminster.
Yes.
Who of those do you want to start with first?
B. Dave, do you have a preference?
Elminster!
Do you want to tell the story of how one time you met Elminster?
I do! Okay, so this is my how I met Elminster story. There you go. D&D Live stream of Many Eyes 2018. Ed Greenwood was there, and he was dressed as Elminster. There's pictures floating around the interwebs on my profile and many other people's profiles of us doing a happy with Elminster. And I was lucky enough to be part of the off the table section of that show where we did kind of this LARP thing in the Yawning Portal in Waterdeep. And so if you watch the VOD, there's a moment where I walk up to the table and he's sitting there and he turns around and looks at me and he says, "Elminster of Shadowdale, well met." and I freeze for a second because in my head I really was like, I just met freaking Elminster in the Yawning Portal.
404 B Dave not found.
Yeah. I was like, it has crashed, must reboot. And I'm like, oh yes, lines continue. So that was a high point of my geek journey was getting to do that and meet him in that way. I mean, as far as the character, he's Obi-Wan Gandalf. I'll leave that part.
Oh, delightful. So Ed Greenwood, as hopefully our viewers know, but maybe you don't if you've come to the Forgotten Realms more recently than long ago, is the creator of the Forgotten Realms. And Elminster, he has made a lot of characters, but Elminster is kind of his iconic character. He is chosen of Mystra, the goddess of magic. He is a wizard and a fighter and all the things because he's been around forever and he's been to like every plane and yeah, he's Obi-Wan Gandalf. Love that description.
He gave me an Elminster business card. I don't have my wallet here with me. Yeah. And while we're talking, I'm gonna look on my Twitter because I'm pretty sure I took a picture of the Elminster business card, and I'm gonna give it to you when I find it here.
So yeah, I just imagine Ed being like, "Of course I know him. He's me." So what is some of the cool history behind Elminster?
So Elminster has deep history.
I did find it. Hang on, let me tell you what it is.
Oh.
All right, the Elminster business card. It is Elminster of Shadowdale, Sage, Wizard, Harper, and Meddler. And he heralds for the Tower, Old Fool's Lane, and Shadowdale. That's what he says about himself there. I guess you're right. If we added all of his levels and accomplishments, his business card would be a not insignificant pamphlet.
It's a pamphlet at that point.
Right.
I'm going to sneak in here real quick and tell the chat, yes, we know the code is not working yet. It will be working soon. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. You have a whole week to use that code. Don't worry. It's not just this episode.
I know in previous editions they statted him out and he's got levels and levels and levels. I don't see that on here, and that I think is fine because he's kind of a character that exists. He's very much he's sort of a mentor figure, right? Yeah. He's a character that exists outside. He does have his own adventures. There are lots of novels about Elminster, about how he became this super powerful wizard. But right now he's he is sort of a immortal, powerful wizard.
I like to just call those DM characters. Like they're just
Yeah.
they can just do whatever the story needs them to do.
Yeah, no, he is an NPC after 50 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
like he's tough enough is the answer. Oh, I see here. I see at least one listing that has him as Wizard 24, Fighter 1, Rogue 2, Cleric 3.
There you go.
As one, how do you pick up a level in Fighter? I appreciate
So,
just somewhere along the way.
I actually sort of know this because his backstory is that originally he was a prince in this kingdom that I have to look up, Athalantar. And he's got a father with like a special sword, the lion sword, and he is definitely being prepped to be like a fighter. And then his parents are killed by I believe it was the Mologrim, the things that helps destroy Netheril. And he loses his whole family. He's the only survivor. He's like 12. And so then he's like, well, what is he gonna do, right? He's like, well, I'm the true claimant for the throne of this kingdom that's not available. He goes and becomes basically a brigand. He survives by stealing. And people come to him and they're like, I'm trying to remember who exactly comes to him. And they're like, hey, you're actually like, you've got a lot of promise for magic. And he's like, pass, don't want to do it. I don't like magic users. However, eventually the goddess Mystra comes down and was like, yo, when I said you were good at magic, I meant I choose you, Elminster. So
Mistra's the Ash Ketchum of the gods.
And Elminster's absolutely the Pikachu to Mistra's Ash Ketchum. That is true. She just yeets Elminster at problems and expects him to solve them. Yes. This parallel's very apt.
I love it.
So yeah, he's got long adventures. He turns into a woman briefly. He manages to get back his kingdom and then says, no, I don't want to be king, I want to be a wizard. He helps out around Mithranor and Cormanthor. He helps found the Harpers. He raises some of the Seven Sisters, including Laeral Silverhand, who we also are going to talk about. So he's got a really wide-ranging story.
What does it mean to be a chosen of Mystra?
So the chosen of Mystra are actually sort of the original chosen, if I remember correctly. And it is, you get sort of a special connection. In Elminster's case, they hooked up. But also, she gives him special magic. Chosen of Mystra have something called Silver Fire, which is basically like pure weave. You are just like unadulterated magic. You can throw it around. And so they are sort of charged with protecting the weave and magic in general and helping keep things running smoothly. As the setting evolved and more chosen kind of pop up, by the time of the Sundering, which is the beginning of 5th edition, you have chosen who are basically people that are imbued with a piece of the divine, of the god. The god puts a little spark in you, kind of as like a placeholder. It is a way to sort of solidify, to kind of have your presence there and to solidify power, and it comes with additional abilities. But the chosen of Mystra are the originals. So
okay,
Silverfire, super magic,
of which Laeral Silverhand is one of them.
That is true. Should we switch to Laeral?
Yeah, let's talk about Laeral for a little bit. So who is that? Who is she?
Probably you know Laeral Silverhand because she's the current Open Lord of Waterdeep.
We've mentioned her a couple of times in the last couple episodes, I think.
Yeah, because she's the one who kicked out Daggle. She's one of the Seven Sisters, who are actually the daughters of Mystra.
Okay, yeah. That is a direct connection.
I'm like, wait a second, is Elminster her father? Would Mystra even say? She's like, no, you're just force babies. You don't have a father.
So this is what I actually don't quite remember how it works, because there's a woodcutter whose last name I believe is Silverhand, and his wife, and Mystra like possesses the wife to have the babies. So whether that guy is actually involved or if it's a kind of a forced baby situation or a Holy Spirit kind of thing.
Oh,
I'm not
man,
totally clear on.
I'd love for Ed to be like, they're made of midichlorians and just light every piece of the internet on fire.
Exactly. Yeah, just come back. We'll bring him back on the show just to have him say that. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it is definitely a nod to Greek mythology of the god came upon you, and then after that you were impregnated with the divine child. I will say, even though I was joking about him being Obi-Wan Gandalf, I was only kind of joking about him being Obi-Wan Gandalf because he predates Gandalf. I mean, he predates Obi-Wan, but of course, a lot of iconic fiction has informed these stories over time. That very much is a role that Elminster sort of plays, because he's kind of the only one of these wizards that kind of keeps his head on straight the entire time. We all know what happened to our homie Alabaster Booty Clap, who Hallister Blackcloak, for those of you that weren't here for that gag.
Uninitiated.
For the uninitiated. Who was slain in battle by Baloth Baradil, Baloth the Entertainer.
But that is very topical to the event going on right now for Summer Spectacular with all of the red pandas. Maybe we can go in a little bit more about that at the end. Why that's so significant.
Red panda, you say?
Yeah. So I do think it's worth pointing out too that so it is Dornal Silverhand. And his wife, Elue. She had 7 babies at once. So you better have a goddess helping out. However, that's a lot of kids. And also the wife died. So that's part of the reason that Elminster came in and said, okay, I'll take these 3 and I will raise those. And because there are 7 silver-haired women who are the daughters of Mystra scattered across Faerun, and Laeral is one of them, arguably the most organized one. She's a powerful.
She would not argue. She's like, I am the most organized.
Like,
I am, yeah.
The only thing that is greater than her power is how humble she is.
I'm intimately familiar with that, restriction.
She was in previous editions. She was actually married to the Blackstaff, who was Kelvin Arunson, and that was like Vajra's predecessor. Actually, Vajra's predecessor. I think. I'm not sure.
I think it was Kelvin that was her predecessor.
No, Samaster comes before Vajra.
Shout out to our dead homie.
He used to. They might have changed that to simplify things, but there was definitely a guy named Samaster who handed the Blackstaff to Vajra when I was working on this. So, and I don't recall whether Kelvin passed it to him, because Kelvin died in, I don't know I think he died before the spell plague. I think that was a separate thing. But so she was intimately involved in the Magisters and the Blackstaff and stuff like that. She's really well known for making magic items, which I think is cool, because I think making magic items is the coolest thing.
I really liked that in the wiki article I was reading on it, that they said that she was one of the most prolific magic item creators. And I just kind of like that idea that I'm like, oh, maybe a magic item my party was made by Laeral Silverhand. That'd be pretty cool.
Statistically speaking, it was.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I love the idea that you show up with her and you're like, oh yeah, like you think this is one of yours, and she's like, baby, that's a knockoff.
Baby, that's a knockoff.
I appreciate she has an ability that she used to keep hidden, where she can make magic items malfunction. So imagine you've got your knockoff Silverhand, and she just sort of like taps it and it's like, pew. She's like, nah, look at that, that's poor craftsmanship. That's
you get what you pay for.
I do really like that the wiki article almost gives you her daily schedule, because I just love it. I'm gonna read it verbatim because it's so good. So Laeral spent most of her day instructing and looking after her partner's wizard's apprentice, most of whom were too intimidated or overawed by their master to actually learn from him. She also maintained Blackstaff Tower, ensuring its wards and stores were maintained, and she also spent much of her day meeting with friends, allies, and even strangers who wanted to speak with her. But the best part for me is down a bit, where it says, though she did not need sleep, she insisted on being left alone for her, quote, high sun nap. Where it was just Laeral time.
I mean, Elminster didn't need to sleep either, but snored loudly, but then cured his snoring magically. So again, I identify this on a spiritual level, by the way. It's like I do not require sleep, but I deeply enjoy it. And if I could magically stop myself from snoring, I probably would. So yeah, I get it. I get it. That's how these like ultra powerful wizard types just kick back for a minute, just for a little siesta. Yeah.
I think what's enjoyable about both of them is that they are wildly powerful, bordering on godlike, and yet in some ways they are very grounded and human, right? Like it's not like nobody bothered me. It's like I'm going to take a nap, and we're not going to discuss why that's a nap.
They're like I can think of at least. It's like I can think of at least 3 reasons you don't need to sleep, and she's like. Well, and as we've talked before about just various characters and things, that kind of stuff is what makes a character come to life.
Yeah.
Because when you're just like, she's an ultra powerful elven wizard who runs Waterdeep, you're like, yeah, I guess. And you're like, she's also super organized and sleeps every day at noon, even though she doesn't have to. You're like, really? You know, those are the kind of things that hook into your mind and make these archetypical characters individuals. Because as you hear us talk about it, we were just talking about how many Blackstaffs they are. You're like ultra powerful wizard that died a G death, but then his spirit kind of came back and he's a force ghost in Blackstaff Tower now. You know, it's there's definitely recurring themes in the Chosen of Mystra. So you kind of have to put some spin on it there that it's like, well, he was married to Laeral Silverhand and she had twins with him. And again, he's a force ghost in Blackstaff Tower now. And you're like, oh, okay. You know, after he died the second time and may or may not come back again if he feels like it, because past a certain point of power, death is no longer an obstacle, merely an inconvenience.
By the way, if we keep bringing up Star Wars, I'm gonna have to pull up the.
You're just gonna do the thing.
Yeah, I just gotta have the lightsaber, you know, right here. You know, if we're gonna talk about it, we may as well have it here.
Maybe I've only been setting you up to do this. Let me just say also that it is a lot of these stories again are archetypical, you know, with Star Wars, with the hero's journey and the recurring themes of the hero's journey, which also reoccurred in the Lord of the Rings and things like that do come up in D&D. It's just trickier because by definition this story is non-linear. We drive down these tentpole events, you know, where we're like, oh, the Sundering was here, Mystra died here, and also here, and quite possibly here. Yeah, right. And things of that nature, because it's a game that you play and interact with, you know, but it still hits a lot of the same notes along the way.
Just for housekeeping purposes. One, he said his name wrong. That Blackstaff's name is Samark, not Sammaster. Sammaster is someone else. And also, Vajra is the 7th Blackstaff. He's the 6th. And Kelvin was the 1st. So there's some more people in the middle.
Okay.
I don't know that all of them have been identified because it's sort of we're counting backwards. So.
That WizKids announced today that they're making a physical wand of Orcus. I need the Blackstaff. I want that. I want that like
that one.
Well, like right there. Got that little space right there.
Apparently it's a death sentence though. So let me just like put that out there.
That's
for you.
fair. Yeah. It's like being the so what
I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You mentioned towards the beginning talking about Silverhand, the 7 sisters. Like was that what was up with it? Because like it's a name. It's like the 7 sisters. What is up with that?
So that is the 7 daughters of Mystra that she sort of like came down and incarnated / hooked up with a woodcutter. They are all powerful magic users of various types, and some of them are still alive, some of them have met with untimely ends, but again, when you're that powerful, I am kind of run down them more.
Yes, do because one of them is different than the other 6.
That's
yes,
true.
Please do.
Ooh.
Okay, so you have this one's hard because it's Silune, and I always get tripped up because it sounds like Silune, who's the moon goddess, but it's not.
I was massively confused reading that wiki article because I did the exact same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Different.
Okay.
So she was killed by a red dragon, and she persists as a ghost. I'm pretty sure she's like a bard. She has a harp and things. There's a great if you are curious about these, there is a like an anthology of short stories about each of them that Ed wrote. Silverfall is what it's called.
Interesting.
So they appear in lots of different stories, but here is this like one story for each. If you want to know their background more, there is Alestriel, who is the ruler of Silvery Moon. There is Dove Falconhand, she's one of the group of adventurers that Ed wrote about, a bunch of the Knights of Mithranor, I think. Knights of Mithranor. And then there is Storm Silverhand, who I know appears in the second Sundering novel and also has magic hair that floats around and grabs stuff.
Got Bayonetta going on.
A little bit. Before Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I win Medusa from the Eternals. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then there's Laeral. There's the Symbol, who is this wildly powerful sorceress who her name is actually Elasra, but she goes by the Symbol.
That is Simbul. It's not like Prince Y'all, where she's just like
I was about to make
the artist. Joke. The artist formerly known as Elastra Silverhand. It's like, no, it's Simbul.
So she was the Witch Queen of Aglarond, which was a kingdom that was often at war with Fae. She also, she and Elminster were an item. She's not one of the ones that Elminster raised. I want to be clear about that.
I was about to be like, hold on, pause, pull this car over here. The what? Yeah, right. But see, that's still weird. That's still weird. Where it's weird. Like, I'm gonna hook up with your stepsister. Which, don't get me wrong, I realize there's an entire genre of cinema dedicated to that. But no, I did. Yeah.
It's also a little like he slept with her mom already. Like, I mean her mom or the entity that possessed her mom. I don't know. Being immortal seems like it'd be weird. Like after a while, it's just the same 6 people that you know.
But that is true. But I mean, is Mystra the jealous type? You know, like I mean, I know she's preserved with like destroying evil and preserving the balance. So she's kind of like, no, whatever, do whatever. And then you do it. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm not mad. Like I'm not mad. Also, here's the sundering.
Here's the sundering.
It's probably like she's like, are you getting magic from somebody else? Then I don't care. But are you getting magic from somebody else? Are you trying to come up to my level, Karsus? Because then we have a problem.
Yeah. Get some flawed power dynamics in the relationships with Mystra, but yes.
There is also, I'd have to check how to, oh no, there's no pronunciation on this one, and I never say it right. Kilue Veladorn, who is a drow. She is the one of the 7 sisters who I believe was sort of kind of like souped up and not raised by
one of these things is not like the other. Yeah, right, exactly.
But she was dedicated to, I am blanking. What's her name? Elistrai, the sort of good drow goddess, and made her fancy temple the Promenade of the Dark Maiden. And
that's a rough job, by the way, being the good drow goddess. You're like, oh, okay, all right. Here we go.
Like, listen, guys, I know I'm not popular, but you know,
yeah,
I'm doing what I do.
I feel like Loth doesn't even try and destroy her adherents. She just makes her people like go like egg their houses and like TP the
but
temple.
They're spider eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Spider eggs. Yeah.
Elistrai has the do you guys want to dance naked in the moonlight angle that Loth does not bring to the party. But then do you want to dance naked in the moonlight? That's not for everybody. Especially when you're a drow and you're used to like people stabbing you in the back if it's unprotected. So also
true. Yeah. Being like, you know, naked as a jaybird in an innately tumultuous and scheming society is probably not optimal. Although, can you think of a bigger flex than to do your naked sword dance in the middle of Minzo Baranzan and be like, come at me, you know?
That is an excellent point.
Like, I just imagine having the most murder eyes ever while doing that dance. Yes, exactly. Come at me. Starts juggling the swords.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And then spider egg. Yeet.
And then spider egg yeet. Yes, that is perfect. Okay, is that all of the
That is
the
all
sisters?
7 of them.
Okay. So
Probably did not do them enough justice, but that's okay.
hey, no, that's fine.
Someone in the chat will point out what I didn't say. They're very popular.
I would just like to point out that that goddess has so many different pronunciations of her name, up to and including the fact that Elminster and the sisters pronounced it differently is Alistri, to even when they were talking to her face, and they didn't get smoten. So I guess Alistri is it, because I also was Elistray or Elistray,
Yeah.
but apparently Ilistry. I feel like Ilistry sounds like a skill you learn in college, as in undergrad. Like you take up because you want to get a date with somebody cute. You're like, I'll try Ilistry, sure, great. And then the relationship doesn't work out, but you have a beloved craft project that you're engaging on the weekends, which may or may not be dancing naked with a sword in the moonlight.
I like Brian Cortijo says, as Ed would say, regional dialects.
He just imagines she's just like, it's fine. It's fine. You can call me Trey or Ella. I just don't want to listen to you butcher it anymore.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have talked about how Silverhand is the open lord of Waterdeep. Currently, kicked Daggolt's butt out of there, even though he was just like, I'm gonna go launder money over here now. And so, but one of the that's the kind of like where she's known for. But definitely, I think one of the places that Elminster is known for is Candlekeep. And I mean, we could do an entire episode about Candlekeep itself, but what, like, for people who may not be familiar, what is Candlekeep?
Badass library.
A mysterious place.
How do I get that inflection into like a sign to put over Candlekeep? A badass library.
Get a magic mouth where it's just Havilar says it when you come up. Yeah.
Just Havilar
right.
says it. And I have this audio too. I could just clip that out, and play it for my players every time.
And her sister's always mad that it's Havilar that gets to announce the library.
It's like, you don't even like reading things that aren't chat books.
Mm-hmm. So what makes it a badass library?
I mean, starters, it's a library. All libraries are fundamentally badass. Let's be clear.
Accurate.
I'm trying to find the page so I can find fun facts too.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I will just say, for friends that are not intimately familiar, the supplement before last for D&D was Candlekeep Mysteries, which was a number of short adventures that you could run that were set in and around Candlekeep. Yes. That's why I said it's a mysterious place.
Well, actually, it is not an official D&D product. I am aware, but on DM's Guild, there is a supplement that I'm trying to find. I can't remember the exact name of it. That basically like it has Justice Armin and Anthony Joyce, but they got in touch with Ed Greenwood and were like, "Hey, could you tell us about stuff that hasn't been published for Candlekeep, because we want to do a supplement for it?" And it's one of my favorite things ever, and has beautiful maps in it and whatnot. I think it's called Elminster's Guide to Candlekeep or something like that, but
nice,
you'll be able to find it.
So the thing about Candlekeep is it is a library fortress that is basically a sovereign nation.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to set its own laws. It has, related merchants and inns and things. The library itself is warded, obviously, because they have all manner of books and scrolls and whatever, because one of their important laws is you don't destroy knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff in there that's not for public consumption, probably, because it's probably like evil and sentient, and you don't want those things getting out.
I mean, I feel like the Book of Vile Darkness has just been a victim of some very bad marketing.
I can tell you it's a pretty good Magic card.
I can say it's a pretty good book.
Yeah, the wards and stuff that are on Candlekeep are wild, and I think Elminster had a hand in those, if I remember correctly. But there's like
strong possibility.
There's like a dome of like warding that just goes all around it, so it's like, oh, you want to fly in here? Lol, no. But
yeah, that is sorry, I wanted to double check.
Yeah.
That is largely a large part of the Herald, which is the last book of the Sundering series, which is centers Elminster, involves making sure that Candlekeep stands as everything goes to hell.
By the way, the one I was talking about is Elminster's Candlekeep Companion. It's very cool. I like it a lot. So we've hit the halfway point of the episode, and we usually give the last 15 minutes to chat, because they have been posting things and stuff.
Sure.
I just want to say one thing. I know we talked about the fact that if you can't destroy knowledge in Candlekeep, or you get in trouble, but the way they word it is, to those who destroy knowledge with ink, fire, or sword are themselves destroyed. The one absolute rule, which I like. But if you think about it, so you're just there like scribing something, and you spill some oil or something, and you're like, oh crap, prestidigitation, and then oh no,
they're coming.
Oh
for
dear.
Me. Oh no.
Yep.
But
there's another thing I forgot. You have to get into Candlekeep. You have to bring a present. You have to bring like an entrance gift. Like you gotta bring like a really good book that they don't have, that they want. Not just anybody can roll in and be like, can we walk around?
Well, that was one thing that I really liked about the Candlekeep mysteries, is that each adventure was about getting back a book that was stolen from Candlekeep.
Yeah.
And there was like a cool piece of artwork for each one of the books. It's so neat. When my players went there, I didn't want to have them make them go on a quest to find like this rare book that they didn't have. I just asked them, what's the name of the book you bring that gets you in? And I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I remember they were pretty ridiculous and I loved them.
See, Freely would show up with a copy of the Viper Sting, and they'd be like, you filthy casual, we've got all 18 volumes, including the unpublished
signed
ones. Yeah.
What happens if you bring your Black Viper fan fiction chapbook that they don't have, though? That would blow their mind.
I feel like they're like duty bound to let you in at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I love
that. You're like, this is my fan fiction that I wrote after I met the Black Viper.
Vlad wants to draw the pictures.
Now I'm giggling thinking about what Havilar's art style would be like. Yes, please. Continue.
Expressive stick figures with
Expressive stick
detailed
figures.
notes on the side.
Yeah. That else can.
Speaking of Havilar, right now, in case you didn't know, you're just joining the Twitch chat because you're like, I just really like the show. First off, thanks. Second, Summer
You
Spectacular.
have immaculate taste.
You do. Summer Spectacular is currently going on in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Each day you can log in and get a free chest. That's starting at noon today, so after this episode. And there's part of the celebration, besides this whole day of streaming, literally you can just stay on this Twitch channel and watch stuff all day, is there's a big thing going on right now with some red pandas. And I was in the chat for Lauren's magnificent morning, and I saw a lot of people going, red pandas? What, y'all, why are there red pandas going on right now? For the uninitiated.
I'll give you the meta answer, and I'll give you the real answer. The meta answer is, when I was blessed to run Idle Champions Presents a couple months back with Erin and Mark Meir, Adam Bradford, Christina Ariel, Jen Kretschmer, That's everybody, right? I didn't leave anybody out, did I?
That was the people in the second set. Yeah.
In the second set, yeah. Yeah. So there, when we were putting the game together, they told me about a couple of the companions that you could get in the game. And there were Iris, the beholder, and there was a red panda coming up. And I even asked, I'm like, is there anything that's going to happen soon? And then we got a red panda. I'm like, I will put the red panda in the game. Don't worry about it. If there's a red panda, I'm going to get the red panda into the game. And so when I did have the red panda show up, oh, I'm about to sneeze. So if I stop talking suddenly, that's why.
Thank you.
It immediately compounded into a thing. There we go. Where Baylock summoned illusions.
Oh,
apparently I'm allergic to red pandas. Illusions of them riding on tricycles, carrying sausages to distract a pack of dogs. Then we had wild magic surges that came up from a delightful little Holophant that was my own creation for this one. Who just was an agent of chaos. And one of the things she did early in the episode, everybody got to dress very fancy in their fanciest outfits and got to describe what they looked like when they were fancy.
Fancy
There's
suits.
always three.
Fancy suits also
Yes.
evil too.
And then later they got turned into red pandas. So now for the Summer Spectacular, they are very fancy red pandas. Which just sells itself, okay? Like, first of all, you should not require an explanation.
All I need to say is Baloth as a red panda dressed as legally distinct Goblin King.
Legally distinct Goblin King. Yeah, no.
My favorite is still Ariza, the red panda Inception.
Yes!
Like, because her fancy outfit was a red panda Kigurumi look, and then she got turned into a red panda wearing a red suit. And I love it so much.
I just imagine the person that you know plays Idle Champions a lot, somehow isn't involved in the community at all, and just gets the update today, and they're like, red. What? Why is that red panda in a jester? Why is that one in a nice dress?
You're welcome. Freely's got a butterfly collar and bell bottoms because of course he does. Yes, it's incredible.
I do love that there's some of the green from his hair in the fur. It's so good.
That was all the C&E devs, by the way. As we were going through the design, they were like, what if there was some green in his fur? I'm like, stop right there. I love it.
Yeah. I don't. Unfortunately, like there's not really like red panda lore. It's mainly just they're adorable. And B-Dave decided, what if everyone in the game was Super Mario 3? So let's go ahead.
Which was my gift to all of you, by the way. And and I will tell you this, another meta gag, you guys. During the game, at the time, I looked right at the camera and said, "You're welcome, C&E, for the new skin inspiration." And here it is. So live your dreams, kids. Like it all comes back around.
I love it. By the way, I think it's still going on right now. There's a giveaway going on in the chat. If you type in Laeral Silverhand, I think that's still going. So go ahead and do that. Let's check in with chat and see what they've been up to while we've been talking away. Cassius335 says, off-topic question: is there a dread domain of losing on penalties? Oh God, that took me a second. I went, oh, that is a sports joke. I gotcha.
If only the way it would have to work is the domains the entire season. If you remember a few years back when the Patriots were unbeaten the whole season and lost in the Super Bowl, where like every game you win like massively, and then you're winning in the big game, and then they come back and it goes to penalties and you lose on the penalties, and that's your torment. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And not only that, you have to be European and are playing football, and people refer to it exclusively as soccer. Yeah.
This is a nightmare. So let's see. Catch23 says, so a question came up last stream about whether Laeral Silverhand and Elminster would like red pandas. Personally, I say, of course, Laeral loves them, but I don't think Elminster trusts anything that pretends to wear socks.
I mean, I gotta file like in trust under two different categories there.
It's
you know.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like everybody likes red pandas.
Right?
I'm like, who doesn't? I'm like, Halaster Blackcloak. Nah, dude loves red pandas.
Dude
Dude wants to talk to red pandas, I think. Like,
He's got a whole level.
No, Xanathar loves red pandas. He adds a red panda. He has a goldfish and a red panda now, canon. Like, who?
You just said it out loud. It's done. Honestly, that should be the next Idol Champions Presents, is Xanathar trying to catch all of us in our red panda forms because to add to the monad. Because think about it, he would.
Oh my gosh.
See, secretly, and now not so secretly, I hoped it was going to be matchmaking for Orcus and the Raven Queen.
Oh yeah. We got to bring the canon of Idol or Champions.
Just gonna force it on them. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's see here. Xavier Kaith says, if the channel ever gets a quote function, Mystra yeets Elminster at problems and expects him to solve them. B-Dave better be in there.
I appreciate it, but think about it. Can you think of any greater description of Elminster's storied career than that?
Truth and art together, right there.
I just keep picturing in my head that, like, from the original intro of Pokemon with Ash throw the Pokeball, it's just Mystra just eating this little roll of Elminster.
And it just explodes.
Oh
it's
my
him
gosh.
with a pipe.
Yeah, exactly. Catch23 comes back and says, just imagine like that episode where Ash used Pikachu against Brock's ground type. Mystra throws Elminster at magic immune golems and is just like, I don't know, you figure it out. Oh, this is so good. Oh, if any of you feel inclined to make a fan art of Mystra yeeting Elminster like a Pokeball, please do it. Please do it. Cassie's,
I think you'll love it.
Wait. Then who's the Team Rocket in this metaphor?
Oh my god.
Wait,
Char.
is it Char? Yeah. I feel like it's Char, but Team Rocket's also really inept, and I feel like Char is not that inept.
You know, first of all, how dare How dare you?
See, Char can be like the Giovanni, and they have like the two incompetents that are trying to kidnap Elminster all the time and failing. And they've got a little displacer beast that can talk with them.
There it is. Chad, you let us know who your picks for
like,
the Team Rocket of the Forgotten Realms.
Oh wait,
I
feel like Manchun. I feel like Manchun is the I feel like Manchun is like the Arbok, right? It's the thing that Team Rocket is throwing. But then I don't know who's doing that. Is that Sirik, maybe?
I was about to say, I feel like Daggled Neverember kind of has to be Meowth, because he gets yeeted at a lot of problems too. And just kind of keeps failing forward.
He learned how to talk just by watching movies at a drive-in. Okay, Kazus335 says, midi-chlorians are really just very small moths. You whisper to the midichlorian, it flies off and gets you an eagle.
There you go.
Let's see. Nicodemus 2018. It's never a male who gets divinely impregnated, which would be much more impressive. Don't count it out. Fantasy can do whatever the heck it wants. Empty Eye, remember that Alabaster Booty Clap is said to be the same cadence as Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, that's
that is
great.
true.
It is true.
That is on my dream to do.
Something really.
This is how I learned to write songs. Write a parody of Alexander Hamilton.
Oh my gosh! Counting Coup just put in the chat, Daggle, that's right. That nearly killed me. Oh my god.
Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Oh man. Oh, sorry. I gotta center myself after that one. Something really witty. Question: how much longer until Elminster decides that they will become a lich to see out their plan?
I don't need to be a lich. He's full of the weave. He's gonna go on forever.
Yeah, it's true. He's when he gets bored enough, maybe, you know. Let's see. Maverick Pixel. What if game? Wait, what is this?
Also, I was wrong. I forgot that Manshoon is also Mystra likes Manshoon too. So she's just playing all the sides.
I see. This is what the game had a daily D20 dice roll that adds a 24 effect or 24-hour effect. I'm assuming Potion of Wonder style. Just an idea for, from a new player and a love for dice roll. Well, thank you for joining it, and thank you for being a new player. That'd be kind of cool. They did a dice roll thing during y'all's shows when you got to choose the thing. One of the rewards was a D6 you got to roll and get something out of it. And then you got like some cool stuff. Brian Cortijo, oh my gosh, Brian Cortijo gave the Blackstaff order and is expecting me to be able to read these. Let's play Trevor's favorite game. Can he pronounce this fake word? Okay, so first we got Kelvin. Then I'm just gonna say that it is Sara because it starts TS. I don't think it would be Tsara.
That you kind of. Oh, what's that called? I'm sorry. I'm really tired. I'm trying to think of what the name is for that particular fricative. Or yeah.
You know, normally it wouldn't be Tassara, but in fantasy, you like somebody does it just to be obstinate. You know,
true. Yeah, it's true. Then we have Kiriani. Kiriani. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And then Kirilin. Ashamon. Yep, Ashamon, and then Samarak, and then Vajra. And I know Vajra.
There we go.
I love Vajra. She's the best.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, thank you for giving me that moment to read that. Let's see. Ryan Hayden says, Adventure Hook. Hired to draw a mustache on Laeral while she is napping. Might be a suicide mission.
That's your game, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that is. But they definitely, absolutely were hired by Daggold Neverember, and he convinced them that it was like really important that they do it. Like the fate of the world hangs in your ability to draw this mustache on there.
Yes. I think this is when I said that WizKids is making the wand of Orcus. Garwar said, but when do we get the boombox of Orcus?
It's an epic item. You're not ready for it.
Yes, exactly. Evil Emperor Zerg. Why doesn't anyone try and become the god of bad luck? I mean, becoming the god of magic is overdone.
Because there is a god of bad luck in Forgotten Realms, Bashaba. And part of me is like, if you come for a Bashaba, you're going to fail because that's like her whole thing. So
that's true.
I mean, apparently it's mistress. You know what I mean? Like again, a few of these people, they like take a shot at the king, don't miss type deal.
I feel like there's a certain amount. It's like, Mystra, do you think you should be hanging out with Bashaba so much? And she's like, that's my friend. That's my girl. Of course I'm hanging out with her. It's like, you don't think that maybe being around somebody whose entire aura is unending misfortune might have something to do with the fact that you're the only god that's died like 3 or 4 times? No, it can't possibly be that. She wouldn't do that to me.
Only unrelated.
By the way, audio listeners, please go watch this VOD for Erin actually changing position for characters. I love it. It was that extra bit that needed to be there. Ryan Hayden comes back and says the correct pronunciation is the one that doesn't leave you cursed by a goddess. Fact.
Well, the problem with that is you find out the hard way which pronunciation left you cursed by a goddess.
This is why you stand to the back of the group and you let other people entreat the goddess first.
So what is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Yeah.
Yellow. I mean blue. Brian Cortijo says, does Havilar draw her illustrations with mini sandwiches?
Mini sandwiches. Well, I mean, it's an important detail.
It is. It's that character, the little thing that we're talking about there. Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know Havilar, you know how she thinks, but in my mind, she would go to Candlekeep and they're like, you have to bring us a book, and you're like, here's fan fiction and also the world's best sandwich.
Just sweeten the deal.
Yeah, Havilar's twin offerings, you know.
So, like, Frida's like, I got this book that's actually something they need. Why are you doing that? You don't need. She's like, there's two of us. We're separate people. I brought my own thing. We'll see what they like best.
So
hard to top the world's best sandwich.
Luke McKay asks, will we see red pandas in any future Brimstone Angels? And Luke, I say to you, that is in your hands. And I'll even give you the pitch for the comic strip. It's called We Bought a Red Panda. And it's just all three of them with a little baby pet red panda. And that's all it is. You don't even have to put dialogue. It will...
Or you could email me. We'll collaborate.
That's true. You just put Cinnamon there doing her thing in the middle of them.
Yeah, just...
And like maybe they're doing it, but that is true. It is like Luke's like, will we ever see this? It's like, I don't know, Luke. Will we ever see this?
Let's see. Something really weird says, I love the panda in the strawberry dress.
I love it too.
It's so good.
I also enjoyed the fact they're like, wait, this isn't, when we first had the conversation, they're like, this is an actual dress. Like, it's copyrighted. And I'm like, yes, but you didn't draw it like the actual dress because you shouldn't, because it's copyrighted. We're all good.
No.
It's fine.
I would just also like to say that for those of you that saw that live and are now seeing these red pandas, they didn't know I was going to do this with describe your fancy look.
No.
So when I'm like, describe your fancy look, that's fresh off the dome for all of them when you see it happen. And now it has come to life.
I'm impressed with everybody.
Especially because they were such different looks.
I didn't see it here in the text document. I thought it was here. Someone earlier I saw in the chat said that they were that Alabaster Booty Clap is now an NPC in every one of their games. But
rightly so, except he can't be because he was killed in battle with Baloth the Entertainer.
It's true. It's true. Well, okay. I think that's all the time we've got for chat's portion of it. And so it's announcement time. So, I thought of like a bunch of different ways of doing this, but I do just kind of want to say, like, a year ago, I sent, like, July 1st, 2020, I sent an email to Eric Jordan to be like, hey, do you want to be on my really small D&D podcast? And now I get to announce I'm the new community manager for Idle Champions.
Congratulations!
And before you freak out, Lauren she's not leaving. She's still gonna be here. She has her own announcement to make. I'm not making it for her. Be sure to come back for the sketching hour, where she's gonna talk more about what she is doing in the company. But yeah, I'm now your community manager.
Lauren is infinite. Lauren is eternal.
Yes. So, you know, and also currently Idle Champ, or I keep calling the show Idle Champs. It is Idle Champions, but Champions of Lore and Champions of Psychology are not going anywhere. We'll still be doing those. I will still be on them while also making sure that, you know, doing community management stuff. Important. I'm a big things. This is how it happens. This makes Eric our Mystra, I think. Which does that make you the Elminster that he's now yeeting at problems? He's like, go beyond these shows and also manage these people that are bringing imbalance to the chat community. Think about it. You just need an ever burning pipe. Yeah. We need a yeet Treavor emote. True. Just throw Treavor at the problem. So yeah. Hey, buddy. I choose you. Oh, thank you, buddy. So yeah, that we'll be really kicking off next week. So, you know, Lauren is still going to be handling all the things and whatnot. Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric just put in the chat, highlighted. Congratulations. Thank you. So yeah, that is what is going on. That's the things that's happening. I'm very excited and I can't wait to get to work and can't wait to talk with all y'all all over the place, wherever the community can be found. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. Erin B. Dave, where can people find you and what awesome things are you working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can listen to me talk to these guys about writing on our podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit, which is available wherever fine podcasts are available.
Yes. New episode today. Also related to this one, Ed Greenwood was on one a little while ago. So
that's true. You can listen to Ed talk to us about world building, specifically your governments and how to stab people.
Yes. There's a significant amount of stabbing that's mentioned in this conversation about government. That is true.
You can also catch me on Wednesday, so later today, 6:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers, where I play D&D with a bunch of other fantasy writers. We have a fun murder mystery. I think it's going to end up being a 2-shot that one of our players, Yang Yang Wang, is running. Ooh. I am very excited because I love puzzles and mysteries, and this is my favorite kind of one shot.
Yes.
B.D. Walters, I do this thing you've heard me doing all over the place. This week, Black Knight Society, Thursday at 4, D&D Twitch and YouTube, Friday and Saturday, all over D&D Live, running a game for the cast of AP Bio Friday night, playing in a game with Beadland Grimm on Saturday, hosting the show. I'll be all over it. But more importantly, congratulations to Treavor, because, dear viewer, I would just like to point out, no one works harder than he does. And if you want, those of you that are trying to participate in this community and be able to launch your own career, pay attention to and emulate what he has done. Because like he said, in just a year, he's come a very long way, and he did it right in front of all of you. So hopefully you were paying attention. You very much earned it. Congratulations. C&E is lucky to have you. I choose you to yeet at all of my problems now, henceforth and forever.
Thank you, but it is taking everything in my body to not crawl under this desk right now.
I did it.
You've
gone pro now. You just have to just let it happen. Yeah. Let it get inside of your heart.
Accept the compliment.
I do want to point out that Dylan told me that if I didn't hold the lightsaber while I made the announcement, it didn't count. I had it here the whole time, Dylan. So yeah,
your hate has in fact made you powerful.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on for the rest of the day. Following this immediately is Bardic Inspiration, as well as the update for Summon Spectacular, so be playing that while you're watching. Mars' Guiding Hand is at 1. The Sketching Hour is at 3, where Lauren will be talking about what she is doing. And at 4 p.m., Storyteller Mars Presents is back. I will be there with Ali Deichman, Garwar, Robo-Goblin, and of course, Storyteller Mars himself running the game. And it's going to be great. And you can find out what happened to Gar and Garlock after they auditioned for a position as an accountant for the Westgate Irregulars.
That is available. The VOD is available on our Twitch channel. It was delightful.
Yes. Yeah, thank you to Jay for moderating in the chat as always and doing a fantastic job. Thank you to Codename Entertainment for giving us a chance to have some fun talks about D&D. If you missed any part of the show, you can catch it later as a podcast at 2 p.m. on your favorite podcast services. And if you have any suggestions for future topics, send those into Champions of Lore at codenameentertainment.com. But yeah, that is going to do it for this week's episode. So until next week, Champions out.